Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's the closing bell on Wall Street. It's like a binder full of women coming to life right before your very eyes. Welcome back. Time for the Newsmax closing bell report. And Rob Williams, Newsmax Finance Deputy Editor, will join us momentarily. But just as we had a very bad day yesterday, we got a good deal of it back today. Actually, not yesterday. 2 days ago we had a terrible day, but we got most of it back. The Dow up 260 points to close at 17,895. It's now back in positive territory for the year. The Nasdaq up 43 points to close at 4,893. It's now up 3.5% or 3.3% for the year. And even the S&P, Greg's S&P, up 26 points to close at 2,066. It is back in positive territory, which is why Greg, our director, has a big smile on his face. I know you wondered why Greg had a big smile on his face, even though we can't see him.
That explains it.
That's why. All right, so we had bad retail data this morning, and the bad data, the bad news, tell me if I'm right, was viewed as good news because they figure less likely of an interest rate hike in June because retail sales are just not doing anything.
Well, yeah, that's right. It's back to that bad news is good news.
I knew I had it right. Okay.
Theme that we've talked about so much. And next week the Fed meets, and there's a lot of debate over how it's going to change the language of its report about whether it's going to be patient about raising rates or not, and how soon that'll be. So this kind of report where retail sales were surprisingly bad, everybody was looking for them to rise in February. Instead, they fell by 0.6%, and a lot of people are blaming the weather.
Still, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm not completely convinced of that because we've had bad weather in the past, now, like last year.
Let me interrupt you. Retail sales, I think I asked you this once before. Does that mean going to the store, or if a store has a website, does that count also?
It does count.
Okay.
In fact, online retail sales were up by 2.2%. So even if people are staying home, they still have that outlet to shop online. And so I think the overall picture weakening, I don't know. It says to me that maybe something is worse about the economy.
Now, the only industry to decline was energy, and that's because oil is trending down again.
Yeah, after we saw a big bounce in oil from the mid-40s up to the mid-50s, it's now around $47 a barrel, and so yeah, it raises the question again: how low is it going to go? Is it going to find support again down in the mid-40s, or plunge even further? Especially because we're still pumping a lot of oil, and we're running out of places to store it now.
But every component of the Dow, just about every stock went up, but Intel took a hit, and it has to do with Windows XP, correct?
Yeah, they usually get a big boost when every time Microsoft rolls out a new Windows and people have to upgrade and this and that. But a lot of small and medium-sized businesses weren't really enthralled with the new version of Windows,
which didn't do well for. So Microsoft probably went down today as well. No.
Yeah, it was also under pressure.
And Intel, which makes all the the stuff for Microsoft. So
all the chips that go into the computers.
Is that what they're called, chips? No,
yes.
no, I'm kidding. All right, and so looking ahead, well, we also had jobless claims falling to 289,000, went down 36. Tomorrow, we have consumer sentiment and producer prices. So what news would be good news for the market?
Well, if producer prices are pretty weak, that's another signal that the Fed doesn't need to raise interest rates because there's just no demand at the factory level for goods and services.
Well, we'll all keep our fingers crossed that whatever comes out, it makes the green arrows appear again on the screen tomorrow. Thank you, Rob Williams, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks,
and to expand your financial horizons, I like that. To expand your financial horizons, go to newsmax.com/finance. There it is. I love doggies. I got myself a doggie, and actually,
that's a bull.
That's a bull? Oh, I can't even see. It looks like, oh, there's a horn. Okay, I thought it was a shadow. It still looks like a dog to me from this distance.
You like bulls?
I don't like bulls, unless on Wall Street.
Okay.